Hi, welcome to this lesson. Today, we're going to design a speaker. We're going to go through a number of stages and repeatedly use sketches and designs to create different parts of a speaker. We're going to design the speaker itself, its safety strap, and a control panel. We're going to use the extrude, revolve, sweep, and loft tools. We will also learn how to use the coordinate system to operate your designs. We're also going to use the construction planes and modify them to draw sketches on. Let's start. At first, we're going to open a new file and make a speaker profile. I'm not going to make the entire speaker, but I'm going to use the Revolve tool. So sketching just the half of the speaker profile is enough. You can use the dimensions as I did, but you can also measure your own speaker if you have one at home and try to imitate it. Basically, all we need to do is a quarter of our speaker, because it's symmetrical in two ways and in two axes. The sketch I have now is enough to start the speaker design. Now I will just mirror the sketch. Make sure to select the copy option in the Preferences panel. Now use the Revolve tool to make the shape of your speaker. So this is the basic shape of my speaker. I think the base speakers are way too small, so I'll just delete one and I'll scale the other to make it bigger. I need to put the pivot point inside my shape because it's round, and then I will scale it according to that point. It's important because otherwise you'll lose your symmetry. I think I'm happy with the size now. Now I'll create a line on the axis, and this line will help me mirror my base speaker. Now I will group the base speaker and hide them because I don't need them at the moment. If you want to rename your group, simply swipe left and tap Rename. For the future purposes, I'm going to create a new group called Cut Tool. From now on, anything I create is going to be a cutting tool. You'll see how groups can be used later. So this is going to be the profile of my speaker. I'm going to adjust it a little bit and then mirror it to the other side because I want the design to be symmetrical. Don't forget to select the copy option for the Preferences panel. Extrude the shape. As you see, the shape is in the Cut tool group, and if I unhide my speaker, I'm going to use it as a cut tool from my speaker. I will add fillets to the edges to make the cut less sharp. After I add the fillets, I'm going to unhide the speaker and mirror this shape to the other side of the speaker to make it symmetrical. Use existing sketches or lines to create the center point for mirroring. Now I can subtract these shapes. But remember to select the body to subtract from first and then the body to be subtracted. Now I'll create a round shape to make and fill, something like a net of my speaker. Align it according to the speaker. As you see, it snaps automatically. I like to block the center of my sketch by selecting the center of the sketch and then pressing a black lock. And then everything I scale after that is going to be according to that point. To extrude, just pull to the side. Now I'm going to make some fillets to the sides. I don't have to select them one by one because I'll be filleting one of them. The app automatically selects them all, as they're continuous. Merge them all together by using the Union tool. I have finished the speaker shape, and now I need to create some control buttons. To do so, I need to add a construction plane. I'll create a line, and out of this line, I'll create a plane. And I'll do it through the edge by selecting a certain angle. I like that I can move the plane anywhere I like. It helps me sketch anywhere I want. First off, I'm going to create a base, which is a very long bar. And on this bar, I'm going to place 4 buttons, which are stop, play, forward, and turn off and on. Some more trimming. What I'm going to do next is to offset the shape I've created. Make a very teeny gap, which is a very technical one. Extrude it and subtract it from the speaker. Then adjust the height of the leftovers to make it look like a middle bar. Select the face of the inside shape and pull it up to make it look a little bit higher. Chamfer by pulling the edge with your Apple Pencil. I can't make button sketch straight on the panel because it's not planar. I need to reuse the previous panel sketch. Go back to the sketch to add some more shapes. Create a circle. Copy the circle 4 times, keeping the same distance across. Make another offset to create the shapes, which will be used to make technical gaps. In the top left corner, you can place specific dimensions to make them more accurate if you need. This will make your design very precise. Zooming is another feature I love about Shapr3D. With just your fingers, you can zoom in very, very close. Zoom in and out and move at the same time. It's very quick and efficient. Now I'm going to do what I did with the bar. Now you will see how the groups can be useful. I need to transform all these shapes. Tap the top bar and select your group. Now I can subtract them using the same method. I'm going to cut where needed using the Group Cut tool, which is the group that contains any cutting bodies. And now if you get closer, you'll see what I've done. It's a small gap between the button and the top bar. Now I'm going to select the edges of the buttons and make a fillet. So now I'm going to recall my sketch, which I've been using to make this design. Actually, you can make the sketch in no time at the beginning of the design process, but sometimes I prefer to follow my own imagination. Now you'll see how easy it is to sketch simple geometry. Sketching is very easy because all the time you use the same tools. You create a line, an arc, you do the trimming, some offset and mirroring, which is basically the transform tool. Now I need to extrude what I've created. For that, I need to tap on the sketches, then pull them up or down on your screen by using the Apple Pencil. Anyway, these shapes are being extruded as I mentioned before. Everything I'm creating right now is being grouped as a cut tool. To make your life easier, when you subtract, simply select the cut tool group instead of selecting all the small details one by one. We are done with the buttons. Now let's create a safety strap. To do so, I'm going to use a construction plane I've already used before, but I will rotate it the way I need. I'm going to put it on the same level as the 0 point. Double tap on the plane to zoom. Now I'm going to create the profiles of the mounting wrap for the safety strap. Basically, there is nothing new about what I'm doing right now. It has already been done previously. This process is more conceptual, and this is why I don't need to be very precise. I prefer to sketch, extrude, and then transform to match the initial idea without extra precision. I'm creating this mounting wrap, and I'm also transforming it the way I want. You can still transform it later if you want, but I think it's quite big at the moment. That's why I'll scale it according to the center point of the edge. Again, I truly enjoy the conceptual work because anytime I want to change something, I just go ahead and change whatever I want. I think it's time to create the base for the mounting hook. It'll be quite similar to the buttons because I don't want to keep the same style along the entire design. Obviously, you can do it your way, but I kind of like to keep the gaps as on the panel. I think it makes the design appear more realistic. And yet again, I think this should be slightly smaller than it is right now. Therefore, I'm going to use the Move, Rotate, and Scale tool to scale. Now I'm going to create the gaps. For that, I need to make the offset first. You don't really need to worry about that plane if it's not on the same level as your strap button. You can easily adjust the strap later using the Move, Rotate, and Scale tool, and moving it according to the spot you want it to be at. Again, using the Sweep tool and adjusting the design a little bit, I decided to transform all the other bodies towards the mounting. You can rotate it if you want to. Simply change the rotation point. It's that purple dot, and modify it the way you want. I think it looks great now. So I'm just going to apply some colors to my design. Right now your design is one single body. In order to color it, choose the general color of the body. But color the details by tapping on them separately. This is my choice of a color palette, but you can pick your own and be as creative as you want. Remember that the edges are always reflecting the light, so I'm putting the white color on the edges to achieve a more realistic look. I think we've done a pretty good job in this lesson. We've been going through a couple of important tools and operations, which can be used in any design, especially when you get creative. Seems like we're done here. Try designing your own model. Use your own ideas, and you'll see how easy it actually is. I wish you luck and see you next time.